So today you can see almost everything as a service. So we have infrastructure as a service, we have a platform as a service, we have software as a service, and the business process as a service. So they are the four core concepts in our cloud computing space. Okay, yeah, thank you. I'm going to maybe use about 10 minutes to summarize of the concepts our distinguished panelists just described, and also I will share with you some of our thinking about the challenges and opportunities in services computing. So during the conference, I have been asked by a few colleagues. They asked, "What's service?" So actually, a few years back, we have been looking into different kinds of definitions. So one definition we actually selected or actually put together is services is a set of interactions between service providers and the service consumers for a certain, business goal or accomplish a specific task. So that means service itself is an interaction. So that's why we want to really think about how services can be used or can be modeled or can be analyzed in different kinds of contexts. So in our community, we think services include the technical related services and the business related services. So sometimes we also call technical services as IT services. And then what's services computing? So that's the term also we put together maybe about 10 years ago. So services computing is trying to cover the science and the technology aspects of how to bridge the gap between business services and IT services. So the goal of services computing is trying to leverage the computing technology or IT services to model, to create and operate and even manage business services in a more efficient and effective way. So that means we really want to use technology to modernize our traditional services or services business. So from the technology perspective, we all know right now services computing right now has covered lots of latest information technologies, including web services, which is the API type of definition protocols or description language we used back to 10 years ago. And then we evolved web services to become a software architecture. So that's our service-oriented architecture, which could be used at the technical level as well as at the business level. So that's why even enterprise architecture is also built on top of the service-oriented architecture. And then we have cloud computing, which can be treated as a new service delivery platform for resource sharing or services sharing. And also we have used business consulting or business process management, modeling, or integration as another type of technology suite to help us to use the information technology to modernize our services. So from the challenging perspective, that's what I can say. Even today, we really don't have a very strong theoretical foundations. So like in other disciplines like physics or some other disciplines, they have their own theoretical foundations. But in our services computing, I think right now we haven't really come up with very solid theoretical foundations. So that's something we have to figure out ways to address. The second one is, lots of professors, when they went to me, the first question sometimes they ask is, do you have any real data for me to verify my research results? So they also treat this is a way to get connected with the industry practitioners. So that means in our today's environment, it's hard to get some real, meaningful data sets for our research colleagues to verify or actually to verify the research accomplishments. So that's something we have to address as well. From the directions perspective, I want to say, based on the challenges I just quickly described, I think the foundational research is still going to be a very, very important direction. So, for example, you can use some mathematical foundations or mathematical modeling type of ideas, which could be borrowed from physics or from the control theory or from other disciplines to model service or service ecosystems. So that's something we can definitely do, in the coming years. The second aspect is the social networking services. So in the social networking services, we are not only talking about the relationship or interactions between people to people, and also we are talking about how people get things done. So that means when people talk to other people, they must be associated with activities. So how can we come up with some mechanism to model the data-driven activities in the social networking environment and analyze them and create insights based on the data? The data is a very, very important aspect in the activity. So the next direction in my mind is collaborative knowledge management. Just like what Professor Hammond just was mentioned, the massive information processing and knowledge delivery is a very, very important challenge in our today's environment. So how can we come up with some mechanism to share the latest research results, and also to use that one as a platform to have joint innovations with other research colleagues in the community. And also the knowledge itself is becoming, the database itself is becoming bigger and bigger. So how can we articulate the most important items from the body of knowledge? So that's the collaborative research issue we have to address as well. So the last part I want to mention is I call it bigger services. I think services must be, zoomed into a specific domain or specific industry. So otherwise, it's very hard to talk about the general service. So we can know, in different industries like electronics industry or automotive industry, they have their own data and communication protocols. So how those can be wrapped as a services and then put into the business process. So that's something we have to, put more efforts on. So the next actually related items is, just like what our panelist was just mentioned. We are not only talking about the data, and also we're talking about the, some kind of environment, informations like temperature, like touch, and some other senses. So in my first day's tutorial presentation, I also think in addition to the traditional senses, touch itself could be also used as a mechanism to propagate information from people to the other people over the internet. So then it will generate lots of data. So as long as the data can be analyzed, or can be associated with different kinds of services, then we are going to have bigger services we can explore into. So the one thing I just want to quickly share with you, since most of our presentations were recorded in our during our conference, so you can find all the latest presentation files and the Camtasia videos from our body of knowledge, which is located at servicescomputing.tv. So you can find your published papers and the presentations, as well as the video files. So this way can actually help you identify who are the colleagues working in the same domain, so you can get connected and start collaborative innovations. So this is one of the mechanisms we want to provide to our community members. So, and also I want to get your attention to the business world. So social networking is very, very hard in our today's business environment. So just on Monday, which is our first day of our conference, you can find lots of new things around the enterprise social networking. So like on Monday, Microsoft announced, so they are going to use $1.2 billion to buy Yammer, which is an enterprise social networking service provider. So the goal of enterprise social networking services is trying to provide more effective communication mechanism and the platform for enterprise users to communicate with each other to help improve the operations of the enterprise or cross enterprises. So this is a bigger trend in the industry. And also, just quick information for you, even my current company, Kingdee, is also providing the similar services just like Yammer did. So for example, Yammer does today. So we have a Kingdee microblog, which is the largest enterprise social networking services platform in China. So we have more than 10,000 enterprises. They have already used this platform to facilitate the communications within the enterprise and across the enterprise. So social networking actually in enterprise environment can really help us to move the users of the traditional enterprise from the professionals within the enterprise, like the HR professionals or accounting professionals, to the individual employees. So that means to every employee within the enterprise, and even to the employees' social networks. So you can say enterprise application has been leveraging the social networking platform to reach to everyone in our society. So you can say it's a kind of different way to get more users to use the enterprise applications. So that's something I also want to quickly share with you. In the industry, this is definitely very, very important aspect you can use as your research contest to find what's new and what kind of collaborations can be done to generate more meaningful and useful research results. Thank you.